Obviously the film, we've got lots of action that you'd expect from a Transformers film, but to me the beating heart of it is a film about friendship and a coming-of-age story for a young girl. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Transformers film, so people come to expect a certain kind of cinematic experience, which is, visual effects and high-octane action sequences, robot fights, and car chases, and we have that, but I think the more important part of this film, and I think maybe the thing that will surprise some people, is how much heart the movie has. It really comes down to this relationship between this girl and this robot, and that really is the beating heart at the center of it, and I believe it's an incredibly sweet, heartwarming story.
It almost feels like it's a young girl with her pet dog.
Yes, in this case, it's a giant 13-foot robot, yes.
And Hayley's character, watching her kind of evolve through the film, she's always remains sort of grounded, doesn't she? She's a real character that you want to buy into and you invest in.
Yeah, I mean, this film does not work without someone who's incredibly strong and a great actor at the core of it, and that's Haley Steinfeld. She's as good an actor as they come. She's absolutely fearless, and she really brings this girl to life. We crafted her over a period of time, Haley and the writer Christina and myself, trying to create this character that has a lot of dimension, a lot of layers, who's kind of a broken girl who needs love, who needs healing, who needs this incredible relationship that she ends up getting with Bumblebee.
And then we've also got the film set in the 80s. I have to tell you, the soundtrack's amazing. I grew up in it, and I was transported back. Can you guide us through what made some of those choices the way you did?
What, for the music? Well, I mean, look, there's a treasure trove of songs that you can pull from the 80s. I mean, I was a child of the 80s. I grew up in that era. So, pulling from my own personal favorites, things that were happening in the alternative world, as well as things with the pop and rock songs. It just, music is one of those things that just evokes an emotion. As soon as you hear it, it can call back to a time and a place, a sense of nostalgia and emotion. And that really was one of the main strengths, I think, of the process, is being able to pull these great songs and weave it into the movie.
And also, we're going back to an era as well that was heavily utilised. It was practical effects. So did you want to use as practical effects as possible to kind of keep the theme of that era?
As much as possible. I mean, we try to shoot as much stuff in camera as we could. There is a giant, 13-foot robot, which is never going to be practical. That's a CG creation. But as much as you can, we wanted to shoot things in camera. And so, I think it's a hybrid of practical effects and cutting-edge visual effects, which I think gives it a nice little spike.